It's quite interesting to have you join us again on the weekend episode of E15 Elections 2015, the program that brings you a team of seasoned journalists every day to analyze major issues regarding the forthcoming general elections in Nigeria. My name is Oba Adeye. Now, it's 15 days to the commencement of the much-hyped general elections in Nigeria, and Oyo State Governor, Mr. Abiola Ajimobi, is not comfortable with the distribution process of the permanent voter cards, PVC, in the state. He says it is capable of disenfranchising many residents of the state ahead of the polls. Away from that, Nigerian troops on Thursday succeeded in clearing terrorists out of Madagali in Adamawa State, northeast Nigeria. Now, Madagali is reported to be the last place held by the Boko Haram terror group in the state. And also, troops of 33 Brigade Nigerian Army yesterday dislodged and cleared Boko Haram terrorists from Lame Bura Forest in Ningi and Turo local government areas of Bauchi State. I hope I got that pronunciation right. Jide will help me later in the course of the program. Anyway, good news, you say, ahead of the elections. But let's see how things play out before the polls. Meanwhile, the crisis among Democratic Party seems not to be over, as the Federal High Court that proclaimed judgment ordering INEC to register the party has summoned officials of the party for claiming its mandate by pressurizing the Independent National Electoral Commission to either shift the forthcoming elections or reprint ballot papers with the party's name 3 weeks to the polls. These are the issues that we shall be looking at on today's episode of the program. My name is Obade. Stay with us.
Join us for a one-on-one interview with seasoned journalist Babafemi Ojudu.
In the course of your work, you've been arrested, tortured, detained, and all that. Are all those periods when, those things were happening, what kept you together? And, how did you, get the strength to forge ahead in your career?
You know one thing, at the age of 27, I don't know what went to my head. I just thought to myself, I said, with what I'm doing now, I could get killed. And then I started rewriting my will. So I can say that I conquered the fear of death at the age of 27. So whenever I'm picked up, I always feel it could be the last.
On the Sunday interview, showing this Sunday, March 15, 2015, at 12:30 p.m., 5 p.m. and 9:30 p.m.
For 4 years in the Senate, let me first ask how you felt, when you defeated, the current governor, I identify your shade in clinching the senatorial seat.
We had a debate. Debate was organized by the Broadcasting Corporation of the state, television, radio, and all that. When I walked into the studio, I wore my traditional attire, my cap, and everything. And he walked in a jeans and a T-shirt, and I saw something written on his chest. Politics is a serious business, and I could see that the spelling of politics was wrong. I knew I got this guy today. I want to call your attention to something today. Could you please, all of our people at home watching us, put your attention on the chest of my co-contestants. I'm disappointed that somebody who has been my governor, who wanted to go and represent us in the Senate, could wear this to the studio. The man could not even spell politics. I think it's a shame. And that when will I tell my 10-year-old daughter when I get home that my former governor, who wanted to go and represent the Senate, could not spell politics? The man then had his hand on his chest. I ran out of the studio.
Watch the exclusive interview on TVC News Nigeria on Concert Channel 190.
Thanks for staying with us on E15 today, Friday, the weekend episode of the show. I have my guest right here in the studio with me. I have Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Thanks for joining us.
It's my pleasure, viewers, to be here once
And
again.
Bisi, nice to have you again.
Thanks, Oba.
Habib is also on the program with us.
Thank you for having me,
Oba. Have you? Thank you. Let's take a quick look at this video from Oyo State. It's an update on the PVC distribution in that state.
Tension continues to mount as election day draws near in Oyo State. The state government had declared public holidays so as to give residents ample opportunity to obtain their cards. But a visit to registration centers here indicate that a huge chunk of Nigerians had still not received their cards. These INEC ad hoc staff give reasons for the unimpressive turnout.
People have been coming to collect their card, but some people will come and they will not see their cards. Some, it might be problem of fingerprints. Some people, if their fingerprint is not shown on their TVC, it might not come and we might start to register on the card and their card is not there. Or they will wish to collect it, but due to some stress, people will be going from one ward to another, but they will not know the exact place to collect it.
Most people have relocated from the area which they registered, and most of them has misplaced their TVC, so they couldn't locate their units or their wards, and some are no more existing.
Those who spoke with TVC News attributed the low turnout to the postponement of the polls, which they argued diminished the morale of prospective voters. Others also say the ASUs associated with the exercise were responsible for the lack of interest. Notwithstanding, they say it's imperative for Nigerians to obtain their PVCs.
There is no apathy whatsoever in Oyo State with regards to collection of PVCs. The problem we have is with INEC, not with the people, not with the electorate, not with any party. Our people are highly interested in collecting their PVCs. But the problem is INEC. INEC has not produced PVC for quite a number of our people in our state. And our message to INEC is that INEC should use these 2 weeks for extension to produce PVC for our people.
At times, if you bribe them, they will get it out for you. Maybe you haven't heard about that. So if that is the case, some people, what am I going to go there? Some will go in there about 3 or 4 times daily. They couldn't get it. So they will say, okay, to hell with it. So, and that's part of it. And I just feel that the federal government, in our democracy, we should trust in ourselves. If we could trust in ourselves, then we have the true democracy.
The resident electoral commissioner in charge of Oyo State is an advocate of increased voter sensitization and education. He is optimistic that the polls will reflect the true yearnings of Nigerians, judging by the efforts put in place by the INEC to check electoral manipulation. According to him, it's important for Nigerians to collect their PVCs.
Please encourage everybody that you know who are yet to collect their card to please go there. And we have brought this thing closer to them. You don't have to go to the local government offices. You go to the polling where you register, and you'll be able to collect your permanent voter's card.
While political stakeholders continue to debate about the reliability of the card reader in conducting free and fair polls, the REC says it had put machinery in motion to ensure that physically challenged Nigerians actively participate in the elections. Olutayo Femosko, TVC News, Oyo State.
Thank you very much, Olutayo Femosko. That was our reporter in Oyo State, Ibadan. Let me start with you, Habib. I think about 4 days ago, I was reading the Vanguard, and it was reported that about 713,367 people in Oyo State are yet to pick their PVC. And here we are, 15 days to the election. What do you make of all this?
It's a very sad situation. I'm personally disappointed. I was thinking that it's only Ogun State that is having this problem. I never knew that Oyo, that base, well, I was born and bred in Ibadan, is also involved in this alternative belief scenario. Because if people that register to vote are not, by now, having their voter card, then there is a big problem. And more worrisome, in my view, is the fact that INEC is not addressing it. INEC is not directly addressing these issues. There are many things that should be taken for granted, that advanced democracies now take for granted. Collecting voter card to vote. Well, we may argue that is the first time that Nigerians are collecting permanent voter card. You not face this scenario in 4 years' time.
Because it's permanent.
Absolutely. Then again, you see, Jide has been an advocate of the fact that everybody must have their voter card. And I share that sentiment. But I don't want to, I don't want to blame INEC. Yes, I think I may receive part of the blame, but I don't think they should be blamed largely for this problem. Because yesterday I read a report in Akwa Ibom State. 2 local governments, most of the people in that two local government, they've not received their voter card. And they went to INEC, and I said they released their voter card. Then after investigation, they realized that councillors between those 2 local governments were the one holding.
Even a town, I think a local government in the east.
On this local government, on these cards. This guy was now forced, after interrogation by security operatives, he brought those things out, and people now like to collect the voter's card. So I think we should be very careful. But at the same time, the onus is on INEC, to show to Nigerians that they are doing their best in giving people their voter card.
Habib does not want to blame INEC. Would you blame INEC too?
Yes, I would blame INEC.
Okay.
Habib says local government councillors were hoarding. How did the cards get to local government councillors? INEC specifically said you must come and collect your voter's card yourself, that nobody under any circumstance should be able to collect a voter's card on behalf of somebody.
That of INEC, the local government councillor, or the owner
it's
of...
INEC. INEC must have given the cards to
INEC officials.
INEC officials. How did the cards get to the local government councillors? There's no way that I can impersonate my husband or my son. We're not the same person. And then the report again said something about people not coming out in Oyo State, and those that came out, they couldn't collect their cards because of fingerprints.
Issue.
What has fingerprinting got to do with collecting PVCs? It has nothing whatsoever. It's when...
Because the biometric information must have been taken
for the card
even before the production of the card.
Yes, it has nothing to do. So I don't understand why INEC is saying that people are coming out and their fingerprints are not registered. When you collect your PVC, you do not have to fingerprint. You don't.
I know you believe that INEC is not prepared for this election.
No, I've always said that.
You've always said that. The INEC is not prepared. And INEC has been deceiving us.
Not sufficiently prepared.
Not sufficiently prepared.
Now, because, look, if you, before February 14, if elections are taking place on February 14, the state will have recorded about 30-something% collection rates.
That's ridiculous.
And we have seen, and the governor has continued to complain. In fact, I pity the governor because he went to INEC office based on the magnitude of this problem and the sufferings that the people are going through and the fact that nearly all parts of Ogun State is affected by this problem. He went, and some people were abusing him on the social media and the newspapers that, look, he's a contestant in the election. What business had he going to INEC? If you are the governor in a state and you are watching your people suffer, it is incumbent on you to find a way to solve that problem. Get across to the people in charge so that the problem can solve and their pains can ease. That's exactly what Governor Musun has done. And he was the one who raised this alarm that more than 600,000 alien cards were brought to Ogun State. So when you accuse people of not going to pick cards, and the cards that you expected them to pick are cards not meant for them. So what do they do? Apart from sending alien cards to that state, you saw the REC admit last week that the INEC headquarters was yet to give them 420,000 cards meant for Ogun State. So even if elections are taking place on February 14, for no fault of Ogun people, a lot of them will not have taken part. We are talking about 700 and something thousand people, who would not take part in the election in Ogun State.
Ogun Oyo?
Even in Ogun State.
Ogun. I have the figures for both states as things stand. And the figure of the registered prospective voters for Ogun State is not particularly large. So where you are faced with a situation in which more than 700,000 would not vote, that's you are looking at about half of the registered voters not being able to take part. That's what makes it really, really sad. If you reside in the densely populated parts of Ogun State. You know, some of us who have appeared on this program, including Jide Johnson of NIJ, and our friend Olayoku. Olayoku, in fact, the problem...
Those are the 4 states with the lowest PVC collection in Nigeria right now. Okay. Ogun, I think Ogun tops.
747,000.
FCT follows, that's Lagos, then Oyo State that we are talking about now.
And there's one thing common with all these states.
No, you can see, if you look, in terms of percentage, you can see clearly that Ogun State is the worst hit. But in terms of number of people yet to collect, Ogun is not, Oyo has far more people yet to collect than even Ogun State by these figures. You know?
So, I mean, what do we make?
Because Oyo is, Oyo registered voters, 2.4, eligible voters, 2.4 million. And PVC collected in Oyo State is just 1,012,678. So, we are looking at more than a million yet to collect their PVCs in Oyo State. You know? So, now Ogun State, registered voters, 1,829,534. PVCs collected, 747,556.
Yes.
I think there is some improvement over these numbers.
Could it be because the governor came out to raise an alarm? Because at that point in time, I listened to the governor himself. I think he was going from one place
to another. The reality, if you look at the salient point that I want to pick out of this whole thing, based on the words that emanated from the REC, the Ogun State REC, is that INEC is still in custody of, in the INEC headquarters, is still in custody of cards meant for Ogun State. Sure you get, because the man said it that they've received, that they have 420,000 yet to be supplied them from the head office. Now, we got a piece of information that out of this 420,000, that they've received 192,000. Meaning that they are bringing that number, they are bringing it down. Maybe as they are receiving, maybe those cards are still being printed outside. As they are taking delivery of them, they are releasing them to the people concerned. I can't really hazard a guess as to the...
Let's quickly take the latest from Ogun State as regards the PVC collection in that state. Let's listen to the State Resident Electoral Commissioner and, of course, the State Governor.